What if I told you that the greatest racing legend in anime history almost never made it to the starting line? Picture this. A small, unassuming gray mare standing at the edge of Tracen Academy's pristine training grounds, watching as the elite horse girls thunder past in perfect formation. Their hooves strike the earth with the confidence of champions, their uniforms gleaming under the afternoon sun. But our protagonist? She's invisible, forgotten. A nobody with dreams too big for her seemingly ordinary frame. This is Oguri Cap, or as the world would come to know her, Cinderella Gray. And her story isn't just about horse racing. It's about the moment when everything you thought you knew about yourself gets shattered, rebuilt, and transformed into something extraordinary. But here's the twist that changes everything. Unlike every other sports anime you've ever watched, Cinderella Gray doesn't start with natural talent. She doesn't have a mysterious bloodline or a hidden power waiting to be unlocked. What she has is far more dangerous and far more inspiring. She has the one thing that can't be taught, can't be inherited, and can't be defeated: an unbreakable will. The opening scene hits you like a lightning bolt. We see Cinderella Gray stumbling through her first practice session, gasping for air while her classmates lap her effortlessly. The camera lingers on her dirt-stained uniform, her trembling legs, her eyes filled with a mixture of exhaustion and determination that makes your chest tighten. You think you're watching a failure in the making. You couldn't be more wrong. What unfolds next is a masterclass in storytelling that flips every expectation on its head. Because this isn't a story about a weak horse girl becoming strong. This is a story about discovering that strength was always there. It just needed the right circumstances to explode into existence. The first major cliffhanger comes when Cinderella Gray faces her first real race. She's lined up against opponents who have been training since childhood, whose names are already whispered in the halls as future champions. The starting gun fires, and for the first 200 meters, she's dead last. The crowd's attention shifts away from her. Even the commentators stop mentioning her name. But then something impossible happens. In the final stretch, when every muscle should be screaming in agony, when her lungs should be burning with exhaustion, Cinderella Gray doesn't just find another gear. She finds a completely different engine. The gray mare who was stumbling at practice transforms into a force of nature that defies everything we thought we knew about horse racing. The animation during this sequence is nothing short of breathtaking. Every frame pulses with energy as we watch her gray mane flow like liquid silver, her hooves barely touching the ground as she moves with a grace that seems to bend the laws of physics. But it's not just the visual spectacle that grabs you by the throat and refuses to let go. It's the moment when you realize this isn't just a race, it's a revolution. The second act deepens the mystery with a revelation that changes everything. Cinderella Gray's seemingly ordinary background hides a connection to one of the most legendary racehorses in history. But here's the kicker. This isn't a blessing. It's a curse that threatens to destroy everything she's worked for. The pressure builds as we learn that her legendary bloodline comes with expectations that would crush most spirits. Every victory is scrutinized, every mistake is magnified, and every step forward is shadowed by the ghosts of past greatness. The weight of legacy threatens to bury her dreams before they can fully bloom. And then, the unthinkable happens. Just when Cinderella Gray seems to be hitting her stride, a devastating injury threatens to end her career before it truly begins. The medical team's prognosis is grim. The rehabilitation process is brutal. Her teammates watch helplessly as their friend fights not just for her racing future, but for her very identity. This is where the story transcends typical sports anime territory and becomes something profound. Because the real race isn't on the track. It's in the mirror. It's the daily battle against doubt, against pain, against the voice that whispers, "Maybe you're not meant for this." It's the choice to get up every morning and face a world that's telling you to quit. The third act builds to a crescendo that will leave you breathless. Cinderella Gray returns to competition. But she's different. The naive dreamer is gone, replaced by something harder, more focused, more dangerous. Her training sequences become meditation sessions in controlled violence. Her races become philosophical statements about the nature of will and determination. But the biggest surprise is yet to come. The climactic race isn't against other horse girls. It's against time itself. Cinderella Gray attempts to break a record that has stood untouched for decades, a seemingly impossible feat that would cement her legacy forever. The entire racing world watches as she lines up against the clock, against history, against the very limits of what's considered possible. The final stretch becomes a visual symphony of determination. Every breath is measured, every stride calculated, every heartbeat synchronized with the rhythm of dreams being forged into reality. The clock ticks down, the crowd holds its breath, and Cinderella Gray pushes beyond every boundary that once defined her. What happens next will change how you think about anime forever. This isn't just a story about a horse girl who got fast. This is a story about the moment when ordinary becomes extraordinary, when dreams become destiny, and when the impossible becomes inevitable. It's about the rise of someone who refused to accept that good enough was good enough. The rise of Cinderella Gray is more than entertainment. It's a transformation. It takes everything you thought you knew about sports anime, about underdog stories, about the nature of greatness itself, and rebuilds it from the ground up. And the most incredible part? This is just the beginning. Because once you witness the rise of Cinderella Gray, once you understand what's truly possible when will meets opportunity, when determination meets destiny, you'll never look at your own limitations the same way again. The question isn't whether you'll be inspired by her journey. The question is whether you are ready to discover what happens when you stop accepting the person you think you are and start becoming the person you were meant to be. Are you ready to witness the rise?